What's up, YouTube? Join me at my kitchen window and let's see what Phoenix has got to show us. And then that's not all. Don't leave after that because you want to see who comes along to check her out. You know what I just found out? Around 60% of the people who are viewing my videos haven't even subscribed yet. Hey, you can fix that. Hit that button. I would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the Widjabul Waiable people of the Bundjalung Nation, which is where I live, work and play. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and recognise the strength, resilience and capacity of this nation, and am aware that sovereignty has never been ceded. This always was and always will be Aboriginal land. Koala Gardens is a wildlife sanctuary on private land. Subscribing helps me bring koalas to you, and liking this video helps me bring them to the whole world. I'm lucky enough to live in the koala's backyard with a wild and free colony on the far north coast of New South Wales in Australia. Check out my Patreon options and come over and chat on my public Discord server. You'll find links for these and lots more in the description below. I'm Katrina and I'm passionate about saving koalas. Just before Christmas, I woke to find Phoenix relaxing in Bullet's favourite forest red gum right outside my kitchen window, and was I delighted or what? Phoenix is a really special girl because she was actually born here on the property. Her mum Racy arrived in December of 2016 and had a joey named Carla in 2017. The next year Phoenix was born and was first seen in the pouch early in 2018 and separated from Racy to become independent late in December of 2018. She spent quite a bit of her time here during 2019, which was the awful year of drought and fires, and in early 2020 in the February she left the property and wasn't seen for 6 months. She came back and I started following that she had a pouch bulge, and that was definitely seen late October 2020. We first saw the joey that was making that pouch bulge, which is Luna, in May of 2021, and in July they were found in the lemon tree in a chicken coop across the road, which you I'm sure have seen, or if not, you can watch back videos of that. We got them out of there, released them on the property, and in August of 2021, Luna and Phoenix separated from each other. One of the reasons that mums separate from their joeys, of course, is because the joey is mature enough to become independent, but mum, of course, is ready to mate again, give birth, and then have another joey developing in her pouch. So I really hoped that having her here in view, I'd get my chance, and there we are. Can you see it? That is a pouch bulge. So that means that Phoenix has given birth, and that joey is now drinking milk developing inside her pouch. You can see the size of her and how beautifully big and round Phoenix is, and yet she is strong and lithe, and there she goes, jumping across from branch to branch, just like she's a little teenager. And if you're not convinced that that was a pouch bulge, let's have a look from around the other side of the tree once she had settled into the branches. Let's have a close look and I can describe the anatomy of a pouch to you so that you can be sure that that really is exactly what you're looking at. Let's freeze the frame and you can see not only the bulge of the pouch, but you can see that slitted opening to the pouch as well, which actually points downwards. Even though koalas live in trees, but they have a nice tightening sphincter at the entrance to the pouch to hold it closed. The next day, Phoenix was still in the tree, and just look at the angle that she's got her hips propped up against that branch on as she sleeps the early morning sun into the warming of the day. She really was extremely comfortable, no matter how uncomfortable that looks, in fact, as she spent hours just sleeping in this position, barely moving a finger or a toe. Finally, she did reposition herself. Really, that's about the equivalent of rolling over in bed, isn't it? It can be almost quite soothing to stand at the kitchen window and just watch a koala sleeping. And as you know, that has resulted in me creating some of those long meditation videos. And I've actually got a lot of footage of Phoenix sleeping over this couple of days that I'll soon release as a bonus meditation video. But the morning of day 3, now you can see her scratching in that tree, but before this, before the sun was actually rising, I could hear a koala bellowing outside, and yet all I could see was Phoenix in the tree. And after the sun rising, I suddenly found that there she was, starting to come down the trunk of the tree, and I thought, uh-oh, quick, get out there, try and catch this on film. I tell you, it's not actually easy running around with a camera trying not to alert a koala that you're coming out to film them. So down the tree she came, coming down backwards as koalas always do, and she's checking things around, having little leaps. I think that she's making her final decision on exactly where she's going to go. This big red gum, you can see the size of the main trunk and branches, and up, she's on the ground and she's off. She's running across the grass at the very top end of the plantation towards the top of Bloodwood Gully. You can see the height of the native grasses, and she just leaps on in. She knows exactly where she's going and what tree she wants. Once I'd finished that and turned around to come back into the house, I discovered that I knew I had heard bellowing in the wee hours of the morning before sunrise, because Bullet is in fact here. He's right up the top, about 30 meters high, up in the very first of those huge forest red gum trees. You can get a bit of an idea of the height of it when I'm filming it now here from the other side of the house. A little later in the day, Bullet moved down a bit lower, and you can see that it's lightly raining as I'm filming it here, and everyone who's watched the koalas here would be very aware the koalas take absolutely no notice of the rain. Once the rain was over, he climbed into another spot in the tree and stopped to give a good hearty bellow. He would be aware that Phoenix had moved out of the trees in that area, but he's still making sure that everybody knows that he's here and that he is Bullet and he wants to own this territory. Up the tree he then began to climb, and he ended up going back up into the tops of the tree to get a good meal. Everybody loves Bullet. What a magnificent koala he is. That's it, mate. Find the best path to get up to where the best leaves are. And you know what? You've done it. You've made it through to the end of yet another Koala Gardens video. How exciting is that? Phoenix with a pouch bulge, Bullet bellowing around, and it's the Christmas New Year week. So would you stop and write in the comments below, I saw a pouch bulge. stay tuned to Koala Gardens. Heaps more to come. Thanks for visiting Koala Gardens. Did you hit the like button? Now before you go, there's lots more great video to see, and make sure you've subscribed and hit that notification bell.